MMA Nation here with Josh Koscheck at the UFC 136 Fan Expo. Josh, you just fought Matt Hughes at UFC 135. It's been a fight that you've been calling for past 3-4 years. Did you ever think that that fight was never going to happen for you?
I didn't think it would, to be honest with you, with the fight with Matt Hughes, because the fact that, he's getting up there in age, I was calling him out for a while, so, it was an opportunity that I had to jump on because of the nature of the storyline and the history between me and Matt Hughes.
Did that fight, in your own mind, did it live up to the expectations that you've been building it up for so many years? Did it play into exactly how you thought it was going to go?
Well, obviously, I don't want to disrespect Matt Hughes. He's a great fighter. He's done a lot of great things for the sport, and he's been a legend. And he will be a legend forever in this sport, a pioneer. So, I think that it was a good opportunity for me, and I seized the opportunity, and we'll just leave it at that.
Okay. You were planning on coming back as a middleweight. Obviously, it's because the welterweight division was kind of tied up with everybody in the top 10 already booked. How was the cut? You were planning on going to 185. Was it difficult to kind of switch everything up and drop to 70 really quickly?
Nah, I walk around about 193. So
okay.
Either way, I'm pretty reasonable at my weight, and I don't get heavy. I don't get too out of shape. So regardless, when I'm taking time off, I still I didn't do anything for almost 3 months.
Right.
So and I didn't put on any weight. So I eat good and healthy, and the weight cut was relatively pretty easy.
Gotcha. For the past fight, John Fitch, your training partner, he was coming off of a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
Was he helping you out, or was he still rehabbing?
Nah, Fitch helped me out for the fight. He was rehabbing a lot, and he didn't really get to train that much, but I definitely took his advice, and we definitely did a lot of jiu-jitsu together, and working on positions. Fitch is a good game planner, and me and him sit down and we talked about the game plan for Matt Hughes, and I said, this is what I'm thinking, and he says, absolutely, it's perfect. You got to make sure you're in this position and doing this, doing that, working on some things. So, he's a great asset to me, definitely.
Okay. Jake Ellenberger, he just pretty much knocked out, he did knock out Jake Shields, kind of opens up the welterweight division. Is that a fight that you think makes sense for you, Ellenberger?
Listen, I'll fight any of those guys. I want to fight the guys at the top.
Right.
That's where I want to be.
Gotcha.
And the guys at the bottom want to fight guys that are at the top.
Right.
So, I'll fight anybody. Realistically, I want a big fight. My next fight to be a big fight. And, who could it be? Maybe a Diaz, maybe a BJ Penn,
right.
Condit, maybe, someone at 185.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of good guys at 185. I definitely like to fight some of those guys. I want big names, big fights.
Gotcha. So you kind of live by the same credo as your teammate Mo the Wall. You'll fight at money weight. If somebody will pay you enough, you'll go up to any weight class?
I'll fight anybody for the right amount of money.
Gotcha. So at this point in your career, is it chasing titles? You've said you've been pretty candid with saying that you're a prize fighter.
I'm not gonna get a title shot anytime soon.
Gotcha.
Unless GSP loses. So
gotcha.
We got to be real on that. Now it's time to get paid. I'm just trying to fight as much as I can, and hopefully get back there at the title shot one day. But if I don't, I'll just make money.
Gotcha.
That's what it's about.
Now you've obviously, as you said, you're going to be a little far away from a title shot. You have a couple of losses. You have like Thiago Alves. Is that something? Do you want to chase rematches at this point, or not really?
I'll definitely do rematches. I don't think the UFC wants us to do rematches though. Right now. So there's a lot of good guys still in the division that I can fight. Like I've named them. BJ Penn, Diaz, Condit. I haven't fought any of those guys.
Right.
So that's in the division at 170. Who's at 185? I can fight Vanderlei, maybe Belfort.
Right.
All those guys. There's a lot of big names there that I'd like to fight.
Awesome. Now, just a couple more questions. Your teammate
Chris Levin too. Yeah, that'd be a great rematch.
Right? Is that a fight that you would actually want to see?
Why not? Why wouldn't you want to see that fight?
Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that fight.
Tough one. You could. Well, let's be real. How could we sell that?
Of course. You guys can both sell it.
Yeah, duh. We do 800 to $1 million buys. Easy. Come on, UFC. Step up. It's about business. Let's make money together.
Now for your teammate Cain Velasquez, he's fighting on Fox. What's it mean to you? You know, UFC's on Fox, but also your teammate defending his title on
He's
Fox.
a lucky son of a bitch. He's a lucky man. He doesn't even know it. Man, I tell him all the time. I'm like, man, you the luckiest boy on earth. You about to get some eyeballs on your ass. You know, he's gonna blow up. You know, so you know, Kane's a very humble kid, and you know, he comes from humble beginnings, and it's good to see the opportunity that he's getting, and he deserves it. You know, he's a hard-working kid, and I remember him sleeping in front of Home Depot across from the gym in his car. You know, when he first moved there, and then we lived together, and I have pictures of the apartment and stuff. It's just good to see a good person succeed, and it's the whole thing of, I always preach, hard work pays off, man. It's paid off for the kid. He's put his time in. And the UFC on Fox is huge. I think it's going to bring a lot of new eyeballs to the sport, and hopefully that you know, Kane and Junior can put on one hell of a fight that people are just like so pumped about it, and the ratings just are off the chart, and it takes our sport to another level.
Awesome. And then just one last question. You've been through the Ultimate Fighter. You have a lot of fighters that have kind of built their name off of that. You were coach on the Ultimate Fighter. What was the difference between being a coach and being a contestant?
I think the difference between being a coach and a contestant on the Ultimate Fighter is the fact that I didn't have to fight, and I didn't have to train. I didn't have to watch my weight for, you know, the 8 weeks that were there. So, you know, and I didn't have to live in the house.
Right.
You know, so as a competitor, it's definitely grind. You know, as a coach, it's fun. You know, you get to interact with these young kids, and you know, and help mentor them, and bring good guys in. You know, I brought, you know, Fitch, and you know, all my coaching staff, and Chuck Liddell came and visited. I mean, it's a good opportunity to see these kids, their eyes light up. You know, and you know, giving back to these kids that were probably, you know, watching me on the show. You know, so you know, it's fun to be. It's a lot funner to be a coach than to be a contestant.
Is the house that bad?
Well,
or does it mentally grind on you that much?
You got to think about notes. You know, you're used to having your cell phone,
Right.
checking your emails,
Right.
your texts, and you know, talking to people. You know, you're used to, you know, going out and you know, playing. You know what guys do.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you put, you know, 13 or 14 guys in a house, and you don't give them a cell phone. You don't give them, you know, any of those privileges. It's definitely
And all the booze you can
change,
drink,
of
and
course.
all you booze you can
know,
drink.
But it's definitely a different adjustment, you know. And I don't know if I would do it again. They'd have to pay me a lot of money. Go back in that house.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt.